understand why that guy exists. The Has or whatever his name was. That guy should have just been Joshua. It would have been so much better if Joshua was the one who destroyed Kubo and then showed up to Rindo to give him the chance to go back. It would have fit so much better given the context of the first game, I feel like. I really don't get why that other guy...
All I'm saying is I totes deserve a long vacation after this.
Yo, Joshua, can you eliminate this chick too, please?
I mean, I erased like a literal frick ton of noise.
You're not the only one who busted their ass out there. Could have earned a nice promotion for myself if I'd kept track of all the points I racked up.
Even you pulled your weight out there, Math Man. Gotta say, I'm looking forward to having you back on the team.
Composers are not powerful enough to go against angels? I don't care. That doesn't change my opinion at all. Joshua should have been stronger or should have been able to because he's Joshua or whatever. I don't care.
Huh. Don't try to integrate me with you garbage reapers.
Excuse you? Who are you calling garbage, you overgrown adolescent?
I'm trying to solve a bigger system of equations here. Those Shinjuku Reapers didn't factor into my calculations, but they did help reveal a hidden variable. The composer. Time to run some figures.
Is that number cruncher really trying to become the next composer? If so, he should work on his delivery. Less math for starters.
Best to just let him do his thing, girl.
Actually, I'd high-key prefer if he, like, didn't do his own thing. He should, like, listen to his master.
Huh! Since when did he have a master?
Since I ever so graciously brought him back to life. Which means he owes me a super-de-duper big favor or two. And I'm totes gonna make sure he pays me back.
This little kid can bring people back to life, apparently. That's neat.
Or he'll face super-de-duper big consequences.
Good luck to her.
She'll need it. There's no way he's taking orders from anyone. But enough chit-chat. It's time to get back to work.
You really went above and beyond, girl. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought you really did have a promotion on the line.
If only. All that hard work, and nothing to show for it but utter exhaustion. I think it's time I took a vacation.
How's about a bowl of ramen to kick things off?
Your treat?
My pleasure.
Then count me in. Slurping noodles by myself was getting pretty boring anyway.
I know the feeling.
Nice work, Neku. I knew I could count on you.
Count on me to break free, you mean? After you lock me up?
I saved you. You're welcome, by the way. I didn't trust that Reaper. So, when she shot you, I sent you to Shinjuku as a precautionary measure.
I appreciate your concern.
Apparently, there's like a post-game thing in the Switch version of The World Ends With You that if you don't play, which I didn't play, then you just miss a lot of context to this game, which is a wild decision by the game developers.
But I think we both know you had an ulterior motive.
Well, aren't you the super sleuth? I'll admit, I wanted to make sure you kept my secrets to yourself.
Didn't give me much choice.
My sincerest apologies. I should have known I could trust you, dear partner.
Oh, brother.
Although, I did worry dealing with the Executor might have been too tall an order.
You mean that Kubo guy?
Indeed, I had vowed to intervene if things took a turn for the worse. But you all seem to handle things on your own just fine.
For the people in chat saying that Joshua couldn't intervene with Kubo at all because, like, angel rules or whatever, you're wrong. So right there you go. Joshua literally says he would have anyway, if we didn't just work it out ourselves.
Hey, Josh.
Yes?
Can I go home now? To the RG?
You mean you don't have your sights set on staying here, becoming composer?
Can't say that I do.
Your loss. Very well then. One good turn deserves another, as they say. Let's not keep her waiting any longer.
Ah! Joshua!
Wait, Shiba, where are you going?
Tsugumi.
The Shibuya Reapers said they'd let us stay. Aren't you going to take them up on their offer?
No, I'm going back.
But why?
Because it burns me up getting played like that. I can't let that be my legacy. It's my fault Shinjuku's in ruins. I ought to be the one who starts rebuilding it. I chose to bring about Shinjuku's destruction. It's only fair that I then take responsibility for the decision I made. And to that end, I suppose I also owe a few folks an apology.
In that case, is it alright if I go with you?
What? Don't you prefer it here?
I admit it isn't bad, but there's no place like home, right? And if you're going to restore things to the way they were, then I want to help.
You're too kind.
Allow me to join you.
No one knows quite how to snuff out my flame like you, old friend. Care to stomp on my embers too, while you're at it?
And sully the soles of my shoes? I think not. You've chosen to run from the city you once ruled. I needn't embarrass you further. That said, if you seek to restore Shinjuku to its former glory, then I cannot stand idly by.
Nor can I. I've got data on Shinjuku. That should help us start rebooting the city.
Well, I suppose I could use the company.
A simple word of thanks would have sufficed.
You'll get your thanks once you've earned it.
Thanks for everything, Shibuya. See you again someday.
Yo, Rhyme. Why you ain't gone home yet?
Come on, let me live a little beat. All study and no play makes Rhyme an overworked girl. Not to mention how worried I was when you disappeared. I spent all my waking hours trying to find you. And all my not waking hours asleep at my PC. Don't you think I deserve to take a load off for once?
I don't see no load around here. But you right. Gotta have some fun once in a while, yo.
Hey, Beat.
Sup, Shiki? Any luck?
Not yet. I don't think he's back yet.
Don't sweat. Phones is a man of his word, yo. He'll be back in no time. And if he ain't, then I'ma give Priskid a piece of my mind.
Josh better watch out. I'm sure Neku's fine, but I still worry. I guess I just need to see him with my own eyes. You know?
Yeah, I feel you. But hey, you'll know him when you see him, huh?
Hey there.
Hello.
Sure is some lovely weather we're having, isn't it?
Beat is about to ruin this fool's life!
It sure is.
Hate to spend such a nice day all by myself.
Excuse me a sec, yo.
Okay. But don't start any trouble. Any minute now, right? He should be able to spot me, thanks to this little guy. Every morning I tell myself, today will be the day.
So wait a minute, Shiki hasn't seen Neku in 3 years? That's lame.
But I'm always wrong.
Not today.
Huh?
Right?
Neku.
Hey. Sorry it took me so long.
It's okay. Waiting wasn't so bad. All that matters is that you're here now.
Thanks.
I'm so happy you're back, Neku.
Me too.
Ah, cheeky.
Feels pretty good. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Right?
Man, I missed this.
Don't you need to be fighting Shoka right now or something?
The hustle and bustle of the city. It's good to be back.
Yeah,
Dude, I started playing Alestra.
that game Nagi's obsessed with?
Yep. There's this guy, the one who looks like Mr. Minami. He keeps smiling at me.
Lucky you.
What are you talking about? It's a video game.
But like, I kinda wanna see where it goes, you know?
You sounded invested.
Enough to keep playing a little more.
Because he smiled at you?
And enough to satisfy boss. She wants a progress report.
What for?
Practice, she says.
As I said, Lord Tosai, Illustra is more than a mere game. 'Tis a veritable tome of truths about the nature of human communication, one that teaches us serenity in the face of an overzealous opponent, or perseverance in the face of an onslaught of abandonment.
Dude, I hate Nagi.
Guess she thinks it'll help make me a better communicator.
Let's hope.
Well, I'm stuffed. Catch you tomorrow?
Sounds good. Hey, there's a cactuar in the crossing. Guess I better go catch it before it runs off.
Do we not have to find Shoka? What?
And got him. I would message you, but you've been offline for over a month. And I haven't seen you since that guy made you disappear.
So you're not looking for her?
Haven't even heard from you.
Shouldn't you be looking for her?
The game's been over for weeks now, and the only trace left of you is this old account. You don't even show up in my contacts anymore. I just want to talk like we used to.
So why aren't you looking for her?
But there's no way to reach you. There's so much I wanted to say.
This is the worst romance in any video game ever.
And now I'll never get the chance to tell you any of it.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Rindo?
Huh?
It's you, right?
Shoka? Whoa, careful!
Still adjusting to life on the other side. Normally, I'd just pass right through people.
You're here, in the RG.
In the flesh, which is, you know, another new adjustment. Guess I'm a bit of a slow learner.
The hell? You should have said something. I could have helped.
Yeah, you could have helped by not ignoring my friend requests.
Huh?
I got locked out of my accounts, including my alt, and I made a new one so we could be friends. But somebody didn't check his inbox.
He didn't look at his inbox for a month?
Oh, my bad.
Actual trash.
There you go, too.
Seriously? Oh, shit.
Unfortunately, I'm back at level 1. So lend me a hand, okay? What?
No, it's nothing. Got a nutkin I can give you.
Oh, sweet!
He didn't even have to find her. They just happened to walk into each other in the street.
Guess it's official now, Rindo.
What?
We're finally friends.
Friend zoned.
Friends.
Oh, hey. It's over, finally. Oh, stretch. All right. Yeah, not a very good game. kind of disappointed, to be honest with you. Because I did really end up liking The World Ends With You, the first one, like a lot by the time I actually finished it. I remember really enjoying The World Ends With You for the first week of the game. The second week of the game, gameplay-wise, really dragged me down, but I was still interested in the story. And then the third week of the game was, like, fantastic. And I loved the way the game ended and all. But, Neo The World Ends With You, kind of sucks. To be completely honest. Like, it's not, like, the worst game I've ever played, but it's not very fun, to be honest. A lot of the combat in the game is just, like, spamming buttons and not being able to see what's happening. And then all of the bosses are super easy. All of their attacks are, like, usually incredibly telegraphed. It's like, attacks in this game are always one of two things. They're either, like, instant, so you have almost no time to dodge them, and then you get hit for a lot of damage, or they're insanely telegraphed and so easy to dodge by just pressing X that, like, it's not a challenge at all. So, I don't know, the gameplay in this game just really gets boring after a while. There's just too much happening on screen at once to be able to tell what's going on, and then one of two things happens. You either, because you can't tell what's going on, you just win because everything dies, or you get to 300% groove, or in the earlier game, to 200 or 100% groove and use those ults to kill easy. Or two, the enemies attack you for a ton of damage suddenly out of nowhere that you couldn't really see coming, and then you die and have to start over. Because the enemies will do like 3,000 damage in a single hit, especially in week 3. But, yeah, so gameplay-wise, the game is kind of whack, and after a while, just gets boring. Like, I just wasn't having very much fun with the gameplay from, like, mid-week 2 onwards, to be completely honest. It was all too simplistic, and also just, like, so much flash and not a lot of substance, kind of similar to when I played Astral Chain, and I didn't really like that game either. It was just, like, so much happening on the screen, you can't even really tell what's going on. But, yeah, so that was pretty lame. Music is still good. I was, like, I like the music of The World Ends With You. It's good music, but there are people who play the game and they're like, oh, this is the best ever. I'm not one of those people. I don't like the music from The World Ends With You or Neo The World Ends With You that much. Like, the music in this game does not hit me near as well as, and it's probably part of the thing is that I don't like the game that much, so the music doesn't have that much of an effect. But, like, the music from The World Ends With You and Neo The World Ends With You, I would never put it up there with, like, Persona or Kingdom Hearts or plenty of other games that have fantastic music that just have better music than this game does, in my opinion. The music's not bad, but I don't think the music is that amazing. It's, like, it's good at best. Also, like, I'd have to go back and listen to some of the original tracks from the first The World Ends With You, but I feel like I like the music better in the first TWUI more than this one. I definitely, the biggest things is that 3 Minutes Clapping is my favorite song from the first The World Ends With You. I don't like the remix of it in this game. It does not sound as good in this game as it does in the first. And, the boss music when you fight Susakichi, that loud screamo music, I hate that. That music is trash, straight up. Oh, wait a minute. Is there... I think this is the end of the credits. Is there a final cutscene? Oh, no, wait, no. We're still going. Never mind. The music made it sound like it was, Oh, wait. Maybe it is? I can't tell. I might have to suddenly go quiet if there's a last-second cutscene. But, so yeah, music was, like, it was good, but I don't think it was fantastic. I don't think it was great. Gameplay was very meh to bad. Hey! Neo The World Ends With You. Anything else? Anything else I need to see, or can I just finish talking about the game and then wrap up? Dude, The World Begins With You bit does not have near as much punch as it did in the first game. That is so much weaker than it was in the first game. I think this is the end. But, the bit at the end of the first game where it says, like, the world begins with you, with, like, going up from Neku and all. Dude, we finished the game at level 69! Let's go! That's a victory for everyone. But, like, the world begins with you bit at the end of the first game that hits so much harder than it does in this game. But yeah, the last thing I have to say about the game, the only two other things I wanted to cover was the story and the characters. The story in this game was, again, just kind of meh. I wasn't super interested in all of this stuff. Like, at the end of the day, Kubo, for some reason, was told to cleanse Shibuya or Shinjuku. He was told to cleanse Shinjuku, and he interpreted that as destroy it. He did. And then he went to destroy Shibuya because he felt like it. And so he used the time travel pin to make a bunch of evil phoenix noise that would do that. And he, like, used Shiba to that end for some reason, so Shiba was also a villain. And that was basically the overarching story, which was, like, kind of lame. I really liked it a lot better in the first The World Ends With You, where Joshua was, like, he thought that the world was stagnating. He thought Shibuya was, like, stagnant and wasn't really, like, he basically, like, as a higher being, because as far as, like, I keep, like, I think Joshua is an angel or something, but people say, like, well, he's not technically an angel, he's a composer, and I'm like, but he's still an angel, is he not? Like, he has angel wings at the end of the first game and whatever. But, whatever, I don't care about all that. But, like, Joshua is basically, like, yeah, Shibuya is, like, super stagnant and doesn't seem to, like, be evolving or anything, so I'm just gonna wipe it off the map. And then the guy from the first, the conductor, I think he was, of the first game was like, he makes a deal like, please let me save Shibuya, and he's like, all right, you got a timer, you like get to it, and then he tries to find a way to save Shibuya and he's just not able to. But then Neku, who is like chosen by Joshua or whatever, again, I don't remember all the details of the first game, it's been a while since I played, he's like he basically came up and said, like, Neku ends up beating that guy and saving Shibuya in the last moments with Joshua and all. And then it does the whole The World Begins With You, and Neku has this super great character arc of, like, where he doesn't like other people and he, like, puts on his headphones to, like, ignore the noise of Shibuya and basically tries to not interact with the world at all. But then at the end of the game, it's like, when you reach out to other people, I'm pretty sure the big theme was when you reach out to other people, that expands your worldview a little bit, and that's how you make your world bigger and better and all that, which is what Joshua wanted to see from someone. And then it's like The World Begins With You, and it's just like a beautiful moment of that, of Neku coming to that realization and changing the name of the game and all. It's like the world doesn't end with you, the world actually begins with you. So that was fantastic. But the story in this game was just kind of like, yeah, Kubo wants to destroy Shibuya for whatever reason, so you gotta save it, dude. Save Shibuya. And at the very end of the game, they started doing the bit with, it's like, it's not the place, it's the people, which is obvious, but like that theme of like, it's the people, not the place, came in way too late at the end of the game to actually be relevant. And I also just think is just not as neat of a theme as the first game of being like, it's not necessarily about the exact friends you have, but it's more like reaching out to new people and making friends and therefore broadening your horizons and making your worldview larger as a result, which I think is a much more nuanced and unique take on everything. And that was the basis of the first game. The second game was just kind of like, at the very end, they shoehorned in like, well, it's not actually just the random people you don't know, it's just the friends that you already have or that you've already made, which was kind of lame, I think. So, yeah, and then my last complaint with the game is the characters. I don't care about Nagi, Fret, and Rindo, like, at all. Like, or Shoka, really. I don't know, they never really gripped me. Like, Neku came in at the very end of the game, so there wasn't really much to do with him. You just got to see, like, his final moments meeting up with Shiki, which was really nice after having played the first game. Beat is awesome, as always, but he didn't really have a lot going on with him in this game like he did in the first game with his sister Rhyme and all that. He was just kind of being awesome the whole time. They're all idiots? Well, no, they can be idiots and still, like, be interesting and enthusing characters, because, like, in Persona 5, the Phantom Thieves are all idiots, but I love them, and they have such compelling storylines and compelling characters and all. Rindo, Fret, Nagi, and Shoka are kind of just like, eh. They're just kind of there. Fred had a little bit of cool stuff going on with Kanon at the end, which I'm honestly surprised they let Kanon die and stay dead. I thought she'd come to life at the end. That's really lame that she's dead forever. But, Fred had that little bit of storyline with Kanon that was done over the course of, like, 2 days in week 3 that they had, like, sort of built up through the game, but not really. They, like, had the bits throughout the game where he kept, like, complimenting Kanon, but they only really started to be like, oh, yeah, he's super disingenuous and stuff, and, like, he lost this friend and all, and, like, that one day, whenever they wanted to suddenly give the characters, like, Shoka and Rindo and Fret, and they never really did anything with Nagi that I can remember, but whenever they wanted to, like, give them a character building moment, they kind of just tried to hit you with it all at once, just instantly. There wasn't a lot of build-up. In the first game, like, Neku especially, and I feel like Beat did as well, but I don't remember super well, the first game was hyper-focused on Neku, which worked very well with the way the game was put together. But, like, when they, like, Neku had a lot of build-up throughout the game, constantly throughout it, and then, like, Beat and Shiki and Joshua, like, came in and had their moments and their build-up through the weeks that they were your partners. But, like, in this game, even though you have Nagi and Fret through basically the entire game, and you have Rindo through the entire game, and you have Shoka for like a week and a half of the game, which is like half of the game, they don't really feel like they get build up to me throughout all of the game. They just get a sudden hit. Like, they'll have 1 or 2 days out of nowhere where it's like, we're gonna try and fit your entire character arc into just these 2 days really fast. And then it's over. And then it's just like, well, that's it. You're done now. Don't have to worry about it anymore. But, yeah, basically just on pretty much on all fronts. Gameplay, music, characters, story. This game was just not as good as the first The World Ends With You. It was kind of a letdown, kind of a disappointment, to be completely honest with you. And, you know, if you're watching this and you're like, well, I loved it, more power to you, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I don't think the game sucks. I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's just like an okay to mediocre game. Probably mediocre even, I would say. I would say it's like mediocre. Probably like if I had to rank it out of 10, I would give it like at best a 5. Because the gameplay gets really boring and almost tedious because, at least, you know, again, it was the way I was playing the game, but I don't really see any other major way to play the game other than different pins. But even if you use different pins, I feel like it's still going to be more of the same thing. You're basically just spamming the buttons, and then occasionally, through all of the nonsense that is happening on screen, because it just fills up so much of the screen, you might see an attack coming and then just press X to dodge. But you usually don't even have to do that. You usually just spam the pins, your groove gets to 200 or 300, and then you use your ult and you win the game. And that's that. But yeah, basically just on all fronts, the game was a bit of a letdown for me. Just not nearly as good as the first The World Ends With You, which is very disappointing after such a long wait for it to get a sequel out of nowhere. But maybe it would have been better if they just never even gave it a sequel, if it just stayed as a one-off. In my opinion, I think it would have been better if it just stayed as its one-off and ended with that. But like, the first game was just infinitely better to me in basically every capacity. So I give this game like a 4 or a 5. If I'm in a good mood, I give it a 5. If I'm in a bad mood, I give it a 4, which is like less than average, which is really bad. But not really bad, but you never want to be less than average. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. This did take about 3 hours and 15 minutes. Dream Master, I think it was you the other day in stream who said like you definitely have 1 stream left, and you were spot on the money. So thank you for that. Much appreciated. But yeah, I'm done. I'm not doing anything else in this game. I'm not doing any 100% nonsense. I'm pretty sure 100%ing this game involves just using every pin until you master it, which sounds insanely mind-numbingly boring to me. So I'm definitely not doing that. There's some kind of a secret boss. I don't care. I'm not doing any kind of post-game stuff in this game. I do not like it near enough to put any more effort into it. But regardless, thank you all so much for watching this playthrough. I hope you enjoyed, even though I didn't have a great time playing it. I had fun commentating and talking with chat, so I hope you enjoyed watching, even though I didn't have much fun with the overall game. But that is going to be the end of the Neo The World Ends With You. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to catch future playthroughs live, there's a link to my Twitch channel in the description. I would love to see you there. I play a lot of Square Enix games, and I usually like Square Enix games more than this one. Like Final Fantasy VII Aura is one of my favorites. The Kingdom Hearts franchise, some of my favorites. Final Fantasy 15, I played that and liked it a lot. So if you like Square Enix games and you want to see more of my stuff, be sure to check out my Twitch channel, because usually when I stream Square Enix games, I have a really fun time of it. But but obviously this wasn't one of them. But yeah, or just keep watching on YouTube. I appreciate the support either way, and I hope to see you in future playthroughs, whether it is Square Enix franchise or something else. But yeah, thank you so much, and until next time, farewell.